Okay, welcome to beginning drawing. This is the first assignment video, gesture drawing, and I'm going to go over a couple things before. This is my studio. I'd show you around a little bit more, but my camera's mounted right now, so um, pretty much we're just going to be looking down at my desk right now. I am in my garage, but it's also my studio. Okay, so what I have in front of you are a few things that you're going to need for the class. First things are going to be the pencils. So in the syllabus, you saw different numbers and letters on these pencils, and I'll explain that right now. This is HB, this is B, this is 2B, and that's 4B. And this is 2H and 4H. This is going to be your mid-range HB, and that's almost like a number 2 pencil. The B is going to be similar, just a little darker, 2B even more darker, and 4B even more darker. On the other side of this mid-range, you have a 2H and a 4H, and the H stands for like a hard lead, so they're going to give you lighter and lightest marks when you draw. All right, so this is a 4H and this is a 4B. You can see the difference, it's a little darker. All right, so get a range. You only need about 3. I would get like a B, 2B, and a 4B, and you should be fine. Okay, the next thing you're gonna need is some charcoal. These are compressed charcoal sticks, and they come in different sizes, but they have, different marks that they make depending on how you hold them. So they're not crayons, they're kind of brittle, you gotta be careful. The next thing you're gonna need is like an eraser. So I have this black eraser, it's brand new. You can use one of these erasers from the kit that a drawing pencil set would come with. It's a plastic eraser, and this is just a holder. Get yourself a good sharpener. I just have a little metal one, it does the job, it's fine. And you're also gonna need some paper. So this is newsprint, it's kind of brown, and it's what you're gonna do your practice work on. This is 18 by 24, and so you're going to be spending a lot of time practicing techniques on this paper. Once you're done with that paper and practicing, you're going to get this paper, and this could be 8.5 by 11 or bigger. Don't get smaller than 8.5 by 11. This is regular drawing paper that's required. I have something different. It's called mixed media, and it'll take marker, paint, ink, pen, and all of that. Okay, so I use this for a figure drawing class, so there is some nudity in it, but it's just a nicer paper to make your drawings, look good. All right, so make sure you're doing your final projects on this white paper. Okay. All right. And this is what the paper looks like. Okay, you're also going to need a ruler, so make sure you get that. And this is just a metal ruler. It's pretty tough, but we're going to do perspective drawing, so you're going to need one of these or a piece of straight wood from the backyard, whatever is going to help you better. This is going to help you in the next assignment when you need to measure inches. So get a ruler. Everyone might have any kind of ruler just laying around. That's fine. Okay, so the first assignment, it involves gesture drawing. And gesture drawing is the first beginning tool that you used when you started drawing. All right, so in this example, this is a gesture drawing, and we used it here to kind of get a sense of what we first look at. So if you think of something like this mannequin that you set up in a specific position, you would first get everything down very quickly. And what that does is establishes size, position, and the simple shapes of the object in front of you. Okay? So this is something that you use as well just to get positions if you're trying to create new characters and you need a specific position for that. But in gesture drawing, you're going to look at that object or a object or any object and look at the curves, right? And try to practice those curves as you look at them really quickly. All right, and this serves as a preliminary drawing to then refine into something that's final and realistic. Okay, so that is the reason we do gesture drawing. It's going to give you movement, size, and position. Okay, and it familiarizes your brain with the actual object you're going to draw. Okay, so on your newsprint, you're going to practice a few times. And what you want to do is have your reference in front of you. It can be printed out, it can be on your phone, kind of doesn't matter, but make sure you have it in front of you. And that's one of the most important parts. The next thing you want to do is you want to look at your object. I'm going to grab me a really dark pencil, that way you can kind of see what I do. When you look at your object, you're looking at curves. All right, you're looking at how this thing is constructed. Look at this little curve in here, and you're trying to duplicate that really quickly on your paper over here. All right, so if you want, you can start off with an outline for the head, and then torso, which is kind of bent, and then waist, and then you got one leg here, and then you got one leg that kind of comes out like this. All right, and then you have your arm. Like that. All right, so that's kind of like the first part of gesture drawing, is just to get your frame down, your wire frame. And from here, this is almost like the middle part that I just did. See that? Like the inside. From here, you can look at the muscle tone, the wrinkles, you know, the shoe and all of that stuff to make your gesture drawing come alive. All right, so I'm going to do this really quickly, and this is how it's supposed to be done. Really fast, you're looking at all the curves and you're moving fast. You don't want to pick up your pencil too much. You're just looking at curves and trying them out. This is not meant to be a final drawing. This is getting your brain ready for when you do sit down and do the final drawing. You're familiarizing yourself with the object in front of you. Okay, so I pretty much got a good shape, but I'm not done. I need to keep studying this, and I need to keep drawing everything that I see, and I can revisit and correct. The shoulder is more round, and this is going to create more information for me to deal with when I go to my final drawing. everything that you see, just visit. The more you see, the more you can get an A if you record it. All right, record it on your paper. You can do the one if you want to. You can do the bulls if you want to, just to kind of plot it out where it's going to go. And guess what? This is going to be really messy. And you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going over the same lines over and over for 10 minutes. But that's the job. That's what's going to keep you noticing more and more shapes, more and more details that you didn't when you just glance at it. All right. This captures movement. This captures position. This captures something that's very alive. And when I sit down later on, if I wanted to, I can like choose lines. Like if I see a really nice line in here, I can really take that and add it to the final drawing, even though it's a little different from my reference. It's something of my own. It's something that I created just by looking at it. And you know, that's how you can get something somewhat original, is you make it your own, you take some chances, and you study your subject. All right, so we're doing 3 of these, and we're practicing on newsprint first. All right, and then we're gonna move on to your big paper, and you're going to do your final drawings on this paper. Okay, so I studied that pretty good. I can go a little longer, but just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna move on to this. Okay, so I'm gonna do my frame first. Hips, leg. This is going to be hard for some of you to see this frame. I'm making it look really easy, but that's hard to get down. So if you're having trouble doing just that, that's fine. It counts as the 10 minutes. Make sure it looks somewhat similar and just go at it once you're at this point. Did some correcting here. That's okay, that's what it's for. So all these lines kind of flow together because, you know, he's one object, he's one person. It's like he's one unit, and each part affects another part. So see that, how I have the ball here and then I moved it over here? Those are the kind of things that I want to see. I want to see you adjust. I want to see you notice and then change it. Because if you just have, you know, a singular thought on what you see, then you're not thinking enough on paper about it. All right. And this is almost like free writing, where authors kind of just write whatever comes to their mind, and it looks like gibberish, sounds like gibberish, but it's really just kind of opening up all these avenues for creation. Okay, so let me get something sharp here. It's my really sharp pencil. Um, I don't want to see any shading, um, no contour drawing, as in just an outline first. You really got to crisscross and go into itself and find these interesting shapes and be free with it. I do not want to see a realistic drawing, even if it looks like you took a photograph and you spent 10 hours on it. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to loosen up and be free with what you see. And like I said before, it's going to open up these different possibilities. Okay, so I could do this all night. I can draw this guy over and over on the same sheet of paper to where all you see is a million lines. But to me, I'm getting a lot of information just by looking at this guy and practicing these shapes. I'm going over these lines more than once. All right, that's part of this assignment, that you look like it looks like it's vibrating. All right, and that's the thought behind this, is that you're showing me that you're thinking on paper, you're observing on paper, and that's part of this technique. Okay, this is your first drawing. If you choose to do this one, you're gonna do 2 more. So pick the musician, the ballerina, or the basketball player. And there's one other one I forget, but you're only expected to do 3 of them. So make sure you practice on here on your newsprint first. That's what it's for. And that way you can get an idea of what is possible, and then you can be really confident once you go for this final drawing here. All right, so you're gonna take pictures of 3 different papers, 3 different white papers of 3 different figures from the PowerPoint. And that's assignment 1. All right, if you have any questions, you can email me, and I hope that helps, and see you in the next video.